It's the Community Show. That's yes.
And that's Sasha.
And we're live on Adobe Radio. It's Monday night, and we're watching Monday Night Football. We watched football tonight, and we were like, not like. I think we're very sportsmanlike. Because our teams we had opposing teams. Well, not opposing. Well, obviously all teams were opposing, but we had we had hometown teams. It was the Bills versus the Jets today in history. If you're listening in the future, today was opening day for Bills and the Jets. Well, the Jets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't get this out.
Monday Night Football was on, and it was the Bills and Jets. A historical day.
So you might hear us scream at some point because today was crazy. I hate football season, and I'm known to hate football season because I'm a Jets fan. So football season gives me trauma and and sadness. And if you watch today's fucking game, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is traumatic to be a Jets fan. It's ridiculous. It's torture. I don't wish it upon my worst enemy. I just inherited it.
If you think that it's rough being a Jets fan, you should try being a Bills fan.
Listen, I have less sympathy for you. It's worse. I promise. Because, you know what you're getting most of the time with most teams that are disappointing. I feel like with the Jets, they give you this glimmer of hope. And then, as soon as, you're a Jets fan and you're like, oh, well, maybe it won't be so bad this year. Then they crush it. And it's like that every single year. So no matter what happens today, I'm still going to be cautious like a battered woman and just see how it goes and hope. I fucking hate football so much. I hate it. I don't like football. It's too brutal. And at least Aaron Rodgers is pro psychedelics. If one thing we've learned from this football season is that Aaron Rodgers is all in on his psychedelic therapy. Yeah, he's about that life. So that's pretty cool, I gotta say.
Some of the other players have actually joined him. He didn't want to name names, but
Really?
Some of the other players have joined him in his cave.
Good. Football's so fucked up, man. I believe that. I'm one of those people who has a very strong opinion about football. And I grew up with many football fans in my family. Maybe that's partially why. But it's a rough sport. So if you can go out there, get your mind right, Hey,
at least
get in touch with your ancestors.
The NFL is embracing, cannabis and hemp and CBD.
Yeah, that too. For a while, they were not. And that was really whack. They were being pretty annoying about the whole thing when really they would be the ones, football players or one of the athletes I would say benefit the most.
Absolutely.
And we had a couple cool football players who were like, bro, I have fucking severe CTE. Let me take weed. And the rest is history. So good for you, football players. Take care of yourselves. If you need to call it quits, Aaron Rodgers, it's okay. It's okay if your body can't take, getting hit. What's happening?
There is 16 seconds left, and the Bills
I can't believe it.
If they make this field goal, it's going into overtime.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, we're just gonna see if they make the.
And it bounced off, and the kick is good.
Oh my God!
It bounced in
overtime.
It's going into overtime.
That's ridiculous. So, as we're watching football, we were smoking, we were eating nachos, and sausage and peppers. It was a true East Coast. Today is also, if you're listening in the future, today fell on 9/11, which is a pretty sad day. For the whole world and the United States, but the East Coast was obviously quite affected by it. So today was a very East Coast day we honored the East by making some sausages and peppers, having some nachos, which I guess are coast to coast, but watching our hometown teams play football, and we smoked weed.
Yeah, what kind?
Kushko! Woo!
Yeah. I was able to find some Kushko OG.
Yeah.
And we picked up a new strain, the Kushko Monte Carlo Kush.
What do you think what is in there?
I don't know. I mean, it's still gassy. It's a little sweet, a little earthy. I don't.
Do you think it's like a new thing, or do you think it's like? I
had some suspicion that it might be. I don't know. Like I thought Cannabiotics, weren't they doing a casino Kush?
Oh.
Were they doing a casino Kush?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe this is a cross. So one of those crosses with their OG. I thought they were crossing their Kushko OG with things to like.
Yeah, for sure.
But
if you're a long-time listener of the show, you know we go back with Kushko. Now, what do you think about the OG that we're smoking right now?
It brings me back. It's got
that sweetness. It's got the OG sweetness that us like OG snobs who were like just spoiled rotten with Mega Wellness out here and Kushko OG, and like what other OG would you say we were spoiled by?
Like that SFV, or even
SFV,
or even sure. Like the Russian Assassin.
Oh my God, so creamy.
One of those OGs. Yeah. So many OGs.
We got spurled, and now anything that says OG, we're like, psh, lies. So Kushko OG, if you're also, they're in Vegas, they're in Nevada, Kushko.
Oh yeah.
I know that like I think I saw Cannabiotics or something similar to that out on the East Coast. So maybe like I don't know, maybe Kushko will make its way over there. Whatever state you're in, look for Kushko because it's really good.
Yeah, I love this. I love the cut. I think it's the OG cut for Kushko.
Yeah, it's so good, and it's like what I always recommended to people. For so
it's
long.
So smooth.
It is. Sorry,
delicious, so good.
I just drank water like sorry. I was staring at the phone. I'm a little football girl today. I'm cosplaying as a cool girl. What's the score? How many? I know. See, that's the thing. That's why I just truly do hate football because, again, I'm a Jets fan. And it's brutal. But they're making good headway. So we're tying it into weed that way. So we do have to talk about weed at some point.
Oh, yeah, we do. I mean, isn't that... We did. Kushko.
Yeah, we did. I'm just making fun. I'm just joshing. Oh, we're doing.
When we do these United States.
Yeah. Hold on.
We salute you, the United States of Cannabis, under all 50 strains, one pre-roll under bong.
Nice.
Cool Nerd Weed Show on Adobe Radio.
Nice, so American. A Miller Lite. What better beer to drink on football opening day?
Refreshing.
Monday night opening day football is what this is. Ugh, God, if this is what's going to be the season to come, I don't think I could. It's giving me an agita. Okay. Weed. So these United States of Cannabis. Okay. Would you want to talk about Illinois first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's happening in Illinois?
So, they're going to have,
it's,
yeah. So this is this coming weekend, right? This.
Yeah. They're having, the festival that's completely cannabis friendly.
Well, so
right?
this festival has Cypress Hill. What is this festival? It has Cypress Hill, Stephen Marley, Miracle in Mundelein in Illinois.
That name's rather ambiguous.
Yeah, like that's the name of it. I work in the industry, and I feel like, but that's what it is. But Cypress Hill's in it, Stephen Marley, and Action Bronson, and those are all very weed friendly artists. I mean, any concert where Cypress Hill is usually a weed friendly venue just because they don't really give you a choice by nature of their show. But apparently Illinois is saying it's A-okay to consume weed anywhere inside the event, which is... but you can't smoke it outside the event. So if you're smoking weed, you have to be inside. But if you're outside the event, like that's where you can smoke it.
That's kind of cool. That's a good plan. If you're a venue, get people in the door.
Sure. Yeah,
early.
and staying in the door.
Yeah.
That's
like
smart.
Safe place.
Yeah.
Smoke friendly environment. You don't have to be fucking harassed. I mean, what would be you could just bring in whatever you want, like bongs. I'd get one of those festival rubber bongs.
Yeah, that says...
It's just like really...
Okay, so according to its frequently asked questions page, let's see. My stupid age. Yes, I'm 21. I mean, thank you for asking. Okay, so the possession limits. Okay, so you're allowed to... so basically, you can have 15 grams of flour on you.
Oh, that's cool. And you can't...
and 250 milligrams of edibles, 2.5 concentrates per person.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's
That is
just about
enough
what
for,
a festival. Yeah, I mean...
Now, there won't be any cannabis sold on the grounds, but you can purchase across the street
Yeah.
at the Rise dispensary. Or you can bring your own sealed containers. So I guess... Yeah, they don't want you smuggling other shit in, so bring it like sealed.
Yeah.
Like
in
if
a
you're going to a
packet.
festival, you could bring in a pack of cigarettes, but it's got to be sealed. Like same idea.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
And you can bring in like 6-inch glass or wood. They can only be 6 inches. So if you have a mini bong, then yeah.
There'll be rolling stations and dab bars.
Wow, this is pretty
And,
amazing.
yeah, this is cool.
Sorry. I'm pretty blown away. That's pretty cool. This is kind of what you wish for when you go, to any concert. You just want that inclusion. You want to be included, especially because everybody's smoking anyway. So, and at a Cypress Hill concert, I mean,
It's
like their thing.
It's mandatory.
Yeah. And even like anywhere, like any state, Cypress Hill does their, I mean, I don't know.
Did I ever tell you I worked for Cypress Hill?
I think so. Yes. What did you do?
Obviously, I was their drum tech and percussion. Worked for Bobo. And there was not one time, not 1 second that somebody wasn't lighting up the entire time.
They are not posers.
No. It is the lifestyle.
Yes, they live the lifestyle for sure. And also, they arguably are the Jets fucking got a touchdown. Shut the fuck up. Shut the
That's
fuck
it.
up.
Oh, the Jets win.
Meadowlands is about to be on fire. The entire marsh of Meadowlands are gonna let. Wowzers! They pulled that from their bums. Oh, I'm so
my
happy
God.
for the people in the stands though, because when Aaron Rodgers got pulled out, I mean, this may mean nothing to anybody who's listening later than this week. When Aaron Rodgers got pulled, all of this stupid East Coast dopey Jersey butts who are all me. Those are all my people. I claim them and I love them. So extra. They were so upset. I hate seeing sad people.
There were some Bills fans in there, and it's going to be a long walk to the parking lot
Sure is.
right now.
And to whatever hotel you may be staying at. Really.
Somebody's probably going to pull the fire alarm.
I know there's going to be
That's
riots.
very East Coast.
Yeah. Okay. So Illinois, you are. So there was always somebody who was lining up in Cypress Hill. TS said because. Yeah. I mean, they really, like, I don't know about like other states, but I mean, I guess you could tell me, but like when they were in New York, they would usually play like Coney Island and stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that everybody could
Yeah.
smoke outside. But like, obviously smoking was strictly, like, it was very illegal when they would come around, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter because it's Cypress Hill. So I'm glad that like they're officially embracing the vibe. Good for you, Illinois.
Congratulations.
Illinois is doing good things with their weed recreational legalizations. We're in Illinois. I'm happy to see it. happy to see it happen for them. So our next state, should I play the sweeper again?
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna play
one
it
more time.
Well, our whole show basically is like going to be United States of Cannabis.
We salute you, the United States of Cannabis, under all 50 strains, one pre-roll, under bong. The Cool Nerd Weed Show on Adobe Radio.
Okay. Okay, what state next?
California.
California, yeah.
California.
That's what I thought.
Lou Morales.
Okay, so legalize cannabis cafes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Allowing cannabis retailers to sell food and beverage and on-site consumption areas, which is kind of happening, but it's localized in West Hollywood right now.
Yeah. It's hard to. I mean, every single dispensary you talk to is like, we're opening up a lounge, and you're like, okay, like people want to do that. All the dispensaries, you know, they all want to open up a companion lounge where they could have food and consumption, and it just seems that like the licensing or the whatever is just, it never seems to like pan out. So this would
I think it's heading
help
to
that happen.
I think it's heading to Governor Newsom's desk because I believe it passed like overwhelmingly through the Senate. They're like 33-3.
Oh yeah.
So it's on its way.
Bipartisan.
Yeah, totally. Like, who were the three that said no?
Yeah, it's a bunch of squares.
So that could be statewide. That could be really
That
good
would
for
be
the
cool.
state.
That would be cool. I am a sucker for a consumption lounge. I really am. I love it so much. Because for a lot of reasons. You know, I think we have enough bars. We know what that's like. I think it's so, you know, it sucks to not be able to just like light up and eat and chill. And also, like, can I make a bid for them to be more affordable too? Like, I know we can't have it all and life isn't perfect, but like Lowell was so expensive and it was such a drawback, and like the Woods is also like, they're meant for groups, I guess, but also like, what about the fucking Lonely Stoner? What about, you know, the Cool Nerd Weed Show? What about people who don't travel in huge groups, aren't doing this for a novelty, just want to go as you would to a bar or a cafe to sit and read a newspaper or whatever and you know what, like, make it for everybody, not just like
I think with more access and more licensing being available, you can find your cannabis cafe vibe.
Yeah.
Right. So
I would hope,
you know, that's when we get our license and you go to the Cool Nerd Weed Cafe, then
we'll have affordable.
it'll be affordable.
Cannabis
We'll have tables
food.
for one.
Yeah.
And tables for two.
Yeah, we'll have. Yeah.
There will be no large groups allowed.
No, I mean, bring your fucking bachelorette party or whatever. Like, enjoy the experience for sure. But like, I feel like that's why it's so expensive. You know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't need to be like fucking top shelf all the way. Like, and also I feel like the weed was really expensive too.
Oh yeah,
because
well,
there's so much.
Sure.
They were like triple taxing you. So let's make it like affordable. You know, like you say, baller on a budget. Like, you know, or and we can have luxury cannabis lounges, of course. But like, it would just be nice to go in there and like to get a pre-roll and a beverage or coffee or an omelet or some such, and maybe have an after dinner or an after lunch gummy, and to not leave spending $200 or to have to spend $200 to, like, you know, put like a deposit down. I don't know why. I'm just being there's a strike going on. Like, I'm thinking about money a lot.
Well, then there's like the tokage fee. So if you want to bring your own,
then there's that.
It's like they charge $60 per person if you want to bring your own.
Yeah, so not for nothing.
But, you know, if you're going to go to a cafe, you should, I guess, support them. Like, you wouldn't bring,
of course.
You wouldn't bring your own fucking booze to a bar.
No, it's rare that, you do that.
But there should. You should be able to get like a $10 J and like a cup of coffee.
And just chill. And not have it break your bank. Just have it be just nice treat. It's just, and I know that things cost money and it's expensive to run a restaurant, cannabis lounge, let alone. So I know like inventory is, well, I'm not trying to make it seem, but I think there's a way. I do. I think there's a way to be cost effective so as that the everyman can partake in your, but good for California for getting it done. Hopefully that will be soon. I feel like we've been hearing that though for so long. Lounges are approved. Like,
yeah, we have. Okay, we have. I mean, the ball was rolling, and then the stupid fucking panini happened, and then really, we're back at it. So
good for us. Great. This is great news. So far, we've had some good news today. Okay, we are gonna take a break. We're gonna do how cannabis got
originated?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think I want to do that. Yeah. So
okay.
We're just going to be nerds. Sometimes, there's not like, there's good news to report. And then there's just, we're just marching right along. So we like to be nerdy and just give a little brief history lesson. We do this every so often in our shows. We don't have a sweeper for it, I don't think. I have to look for one. But we'll be back with like a little bit of a history lesson for you.
It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show with TS and Sasha. Don't panic. It's organic.
Yeah. And we're back. That's TS.
And that's Sasha.
And it's the Cool Nerd Weed Show. By the way, we have merch. Let's mention it in the middle of the show this time. We always forget to talk about it. But go buy our stuff. They're cute things and they're really good quality. I'm actually, we're not videoing today, but I'm wearing one today. coolnerdweedshow.bigcartel.com is where you can find our merch. The holidays are coming up. We should do a Halloween one.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some Halloween merch. Masks of our skin, masks of our faces.
Yep. No, we're not gonna do it. Go buy our merch. Don't be scared to do that. To go buy our merch. We went too far. And also we do video companion to our shows. We didn't do today's, but we do it normally, and that's up on YouTube. So you can go find our stuff there. In Instagram somewhat, but YouTube is where we're doing a lot of our content as of late. And of course Adobe Radio, like never stop listening to Adobe Radio. Thank you, Adobe. Thank you so much, Adobe. We love you so goddamn much.
Yeah, thanks, Adobe.
We just love the shit out of you. Thanks for letting us do this silly, wonderful show that we love so much. So, okay.
Have you ever wondered how cannabis got to where it is today?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I have.
Well, that's good because we're going to tell you.
Oh, cool. I can't wait to find out. Yeah, I mean, it definitely, like, before I got into the industry, I did wonder where, like, how did it come about? What is it? I mean, I knew it was ancient.
Well, yeah, I mean, from what we know, that cannabis originated in East Asia and is everywhere on the entire planet.
Wow.
Except for Antarctica.
Oh.
Nothing grows there.
Right.
That I know, like traditional plants.
Right.
And it has been traced back to a plateau in Tibet.
Oh, cool. Interesting. So that's 20 million years ago.
Yes.
Whoa.
And at some point the sister, like an evolutionary sister plant would be the hop they brew beer from, and they're very, very similar. So somewhere down the line, they split off, and cannabis was possibly born on this plateau.
Oh, it looks like maybe like we didn't even know because it's a weed. We know that, it grows like a weed. So it was just spread.
It was spread
We
everywhere.
didn't know that we were doing it. It just was happening.
Yeah, by bird poop and people,
Yeah.
humans.
Yeah. And like it was on a plateau. So it was like nice and bright and sunny.
But, eventually people figured out that this weed was useful in, making fibrous ropes, and the seeds were full of protein and
Yeah.
making medicines
And it was strong.
and salves. And, sometimes it just made you feel good when you were out there in ancient times. 12,000 years ago, it was probably rough.
Yeah.
Probably
I mean,
could've
I would
used a-
assume we tried to smoke and eat everything 28 million years ago.
Yeah, it was a lot of trial and error
Yeah.
with humankind.
Yeah. We were just figuring it out.
It was in the nomadic lifestyle of the day, which was the style at the time. Began to spread around the world
Right.
into the Middle East and Eastern Europe and through India.
So all throughout that part of the world is where weed really, really picked up.
Yeah, and that's where it sort of diverged. What is the plant physiology, as it were, like as we're talking about like indicas and sativas,
Okay.
just like the evolution of the plant for whatever that was back in the day,
Back in the day.
like
So we were breeding, farming.
land races.
Right.
And eventually-
right.
People did start to cultivate cannabis naturally, or it was wild. So I guess
Yeah.
it would be. It probably they just figured out that these crops would grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like, yeah, I'm sure they just saw this like specific plant. This like because it looks very specific weed. Like,
Yeah, even the like ditchweed, as
Yeah.
it were.
yeah.
So by 2000 BC, people began to cultivate it for various uses, including its psychoactive effects.
Interesting.
And the varieties of plants evolved based on geography. So
So like,
if it was as it started growing like more India, closer to the equator, had longer days to grow.
Right.
To grow those sativas.
there was more sun.
There was more sun, and then up in the Hindu Kush mountains, they had a very specific climate, and they grew like shorter, fatter, like indicas.
Right.
I would love to have some of these original strains. Like, could we?
Yeah,
if there was
that's
like
so
an archive of, or they cracked open King Tut's tomb
Yeah.
and found like some original strains.
Well, I guess like from what little I could read of these articles before the stupid paywall, it says like they were hard to identify because they looked like hops.
Yeah, they're like very.
So everybody was like, "Oh, those are just hops.
Just
those
hops.
aren't even." So it like who even knows like how far really? Yeah, like maybe you open up like you find the Titanic and shit, or you find like prehistoric.
like soaked in amber,
Did
like
dinosaurs eat weed?
like like in Jurassic Park.
Days.
You
Yeah.
find like a bunch of hemp seeds in some amber,
Oh my god!
and
Yeah.
genetically we get like DNA genetics to
Yeah.
re-genetically engineer this.
Weed seed. That would be a great movie. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Dank Park.
I too am cut off from this article. From
Oh, you are?
yeah, So,
Well, we'll never know now. I thought I saw the whole thing, but yeah, then I couldn't get to it. Well, we know that weed has been used as a drug for like 2,700 years. So for as long as like we know, because we're in the year 2023. So saying even before, even Jesus may have
very
weed.
well may have.
Probably did. And that's all in that same part of the world, too.
Yeah, like
I'm assuming there was a bit of colonizing done, too, that maybe brought some weed back over to the European part of the world, which then probably brought it over to us.
Yeah, eventually it spread to Africa and then South America and the United States, Australia, but the origins are Tibet. This plateau in Tibet.
Well, Africa, I think Africa had it for a while.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it spread to Africa. Those are like the standard, like your early Silk Road. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about the website, but the actual Silk Road, like trade routes through the Middle East and China. And
yeah, all that, like all those times, while people were practicing medicine, plant medicine, and all that other good stuff, is when you can really see cannabis picks up. And also, like, tobacco kind of goes along with that too. Like, it looks like across the world, like in terms of like trading and making
for sure, yeah,
stuff. Like, cannabis and tobacco were like neck and neck for a long time.
It was naturally grown. Tobacco did occur in nature before it was like GMO'd and pesticide and
and it was a legitimate trade business
for sure.
It is now still too, but back then it was less. It really was like a commodity that was traded and had and also did have like not medicinal but recreational relief is what you would find in pure tobacco and over the continents.
10,000 BC, 400 BC into India, 2000 BC, most of Europe and Asia, 1400 AD Africa, into the 2080s of like all of North America, Greenland, and South America. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah. It is. There's like you said, there's not a place that it's not.
I would like some of that cannabis from Greenland. What are they working with?
It's probably pretty good. I can imagine. It's probably pretty gosh darn good.
Iceland, that Icelandic cannabis.
It would be cool if more places were down with weed and we can go smoke it. But I feel like a lot of these countries they're not. It's there, but it's not allowed to be there. And don't bring weed into other countries if you're flying into other countries. But I would love to just do a taste test of weed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, but
around
the world.
Weeds around the world.
Weeds around the world.
Oh,
like what?
That's like that's better than Jam of the Month Club.
Yeah. I wonder what it's like. I wonder what, like, if you went to that same Tibetan plateau. Like
every month, like on January. In January, they send you the Tibetan plateau cuts, and then then February they send you like that cut from India.
Yeah, that would be sick. Well, if weed was accepted and legal
universally,
then we would be able to do these things. But unfortunately, it is not, and it really does become like a worldwide thing, kind of all at the same time. It seems like it was pretty cool, pretty accepted. And all of a sudden,
And then it was not.
it became not worldwide. So what a weird time. But we now know the Tibetan Plateau. We're going to take a break and actually have no idea what we're going to talk about when we get back. The Jets really fucked me up today.
It was an emotional roller coaster for all of us involved here.
We really did go through a lot, and I'm just glad we got through it. We'll be right back.
The Final Huff and Puff with TS and Sasha.
It is the Final Huff and Puff on the Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's TS.
And that's Sasha.
And we probably don't have enough time to talk about all of this, so maybe we'll get back to it. But we've been talking about New York and weed in New York, obviously, since the inception. And they've been fumbling the bag quite a bit in New York. Everywhere from like not issuing enough licenses to halting all licenses to a backup of weed to all these illegal smoke shops that are up. It is kind of a fucking dumpster fire in New York in terms of the rollout.
Oh yeah, they're allowing emergency sort of farmers markets to
Which
happen.
has been nice and cool. That has been cool, yeah. Emergency farmers markets. There's been the places that have been open, it looks like by the books, like I kind of had an easier rollout. Looks like they've been doing quite well. So it hasn't been all bad, but it's been rough to see. Now, I kind of called this. I feel like you did too. We kind of took a look.
Yeah.
We took a look. Why didn't that sound right? We took a look at what was happening in New York, and just, I think my first tip off was Glass House's presence there. And I felt this is going to go like big weed, corporate weed very quickly. This article is like surprised by the takeover of big weed. I am not.
There was like a MedMen opened on Fifth
before
Avenue.
Even like the second weed became recreational, like in like California, like New York opened a MedMen.
And then there's only like 11 companies that own the licenses to the actual medical cannabis dispensaries that are in existence in New York.
Right.
And so that's already limited their competition to like big cannabis. Really has already had the leg up. Mm-hmm. And it looks like that big cannabis is going to be granted all of these existing big medical cannabis shops will be able to get their adult use licensing if they kick the state $5 million.
Mm-hmm. And it's towards a full payment of $20 million. So that's just the down payment.
It's a down payment.
So
that's insane. That like knocks out anybody that doesn't have $5 million right now.
Anybody who's not equity, not getting help from equity. Anybody who had like the honest dream to open up a weed shop or to be in weed is really just like completely kicked out of the game. I mean, it's your typical Walmart comes and gobbles up the mom and pop shop situation. For that alone, just for the price of admission, like just to play the game, you have to have $20 million. Jesus, that's crazy. And not to mention, there's been so many delays. There's been so much. We don't even know what it looks like to have more players in the game, because there hasn't been. And there, because there's been so much delay for lots of reasons in New York anyway. Like they've missed deadlines. They're like a company like MedMen, right? Like, so they're technically like big weed, like that's what we would call them.
Oh yeah.
And they're kind of getting fucked because they've only been able to sell like fucking CBD and shit. Like, and you know, I think they did their medical, but like it's really difficult to have a storefront on like fucking Fifth Avenue when you can't sell recreational weed, you can't get the tax revenue, you can't get finance, you can't do anything. So
there's all these people around you just selling on the street.
Right outside.
And in other storefronts as well.
Yeah. So it's rough because it's New York. I'm not surprised. I'm sorry. Like, I'd love to be surprised. I'd love for this to be like, oh no. But it's...
It just seemed, when you sent me this article, you were like, why is anybody surprised at this? And you know, it was just kind of like, duh.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, business is fucking usual in New York.
Yeah. And another thing too, like at the end of this article, they kind of like diss on California, which like, go fuck yourself. God, New York is so fucking uppity. I love you, New York, but like, go fuck yourself. I've been saying this to New York about weed a lot. So like, they wanted it to be more regulated medically in California, which is weird because like it starts out, this part of the article, it's like saying how much we needed to help people. So that if you want to be like more traditionally medical, like a pharmacy or whatever, you are making it less accessible, just so you know. If you want to make it better, you make it recreational and everybody can have their licenses. But this is somebody from PharmaCann. PharmaCann sounds like a fucking company we want to buy dank from. Illinois was really trying to move away from that West Coast imagery of medical cannabis being some dude on Venice Beach. That's you.
That's me.
You.
I take umbrage to this.
Bro, honestly, like, eat a dick. I don't know who this guy's from. Maybe he's not from New York. He's the vice president of regulatory affairs for PharmaCann. So maybe he's just like some chooch.
Chad.
Yeah, he's a
Chad.
This is what a Chad is. Yeah, this is Chad Chatterson, who is like, what a stupid fucking cliche. Like,
yeah, way to really push a fucking stereotype, Chad.
For no reason, PharmaCann. Chad. Yeah, like Jeremy Unruh. Jeremy, your name is Jeremy's a stupid name. You know what's better? Chad. That's a better name. You stupid face. Hate you. So dumb. So that's what a big fucking weed person tells you. That TS and I, who have been helping people for fucking decades out here because weed has been accessible, and it's been based on compassion, not tax, not monies. I mean, we got our bag, but that weed is a compassionate drug. And that's what that is actually. Yeah, we are that stereotypical dude on the beach. That is what it is out here. You're right, you fucking moron. PharmaCann. Where are you out here? Let's find some PharmaCann weed out here and review it on the show.
Where were you when George Bush was in the fucking White House and we were getting raided?
Waiting. He was working in a fucking hedge fund, or he was like a real estate agent, or he worked at a jewelry shop, or he was, you know, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Or he worked at a laundromat, or he was like, whatever it was daddy's. And
for sure.
He has no clue what it's like to fight for safe access and what it's like to be in the industry. So yeah, that's happening. New York is just gonna pick it all up. It's too bad. In New York, patients like Amanda, this is a girl who has a seizure, were not the drivers of corporate value. The potential to get into the general adult market, enhanced by millions of tourists who visit each year, was. So basically, this article is saying, New York, you are not doing it for the compassion. You're doing it for that money, and you're doing it in the wrong way.
Must be the money.
Oh, man. I love you, New York. I really do. I love the shit out of you. This article is very extensive. We'll come back to this because this is a very long article. We're not even really scratching the surface. We don't have much more time. But I would love to talk about it. And I'm talking a lot of jazz, but that's because, I mean, we're from New York. We love you. And this is probably not the best day to talk crap on New York, but we love you. And the hopes for New York for weed were through the universe sky in the stars. We wanted New York's access to weed to be monumental and safe and good, and it hasn't been. So we're just a little bit frustrated. And to hear big weed is going to be the winner, something we knew all along, it doesn't make it feel any better. We're going to get back to this story though, so stay tuned for more opinions. The nerds have opinions. But thank you for listening today. And that was too hard on New York. I didn't mean to be. I hope you learned something, where weed was from, where it came from on the Tibetan tableau.
And where weed is going.
And where weed is going. Clearly not New York. Or clearly New York in like not the bestest way. And go Jets. And
Jets.
Jets. Jets.
Don't panic.
It's organic.